Today is premiere day. Villains of Valley View is premiering with two back-to-back episodes on the Disney Channel. Two of the stars here, James Stuart Patrick and Isabella Pappas. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Usually when you think of villains, you think of a loner. You don't realize that they have a family as well too. Let's talk a little bit about the concept of this show.
I think the show's amazing. It really breaks the mold for, I think, what Disney has done in the past. I think that they've had shows about villains, but again, I don't think they've ever really delved into like the whole family. It's not just about, one person, it's an ensemble piece. And, the show is about my character who stands up to the League of Villains, and she gets her whole family to have to locate to go into hiding in a suburb in Texas, which obviously is not going to be easy because they're super villains. But at the core of the show, it's really about, villains aren't completely bad people, and they have backstories and they have motives and they have complex feelings. And I think that it's about being able to sympathize with the villain and realize that sometimes you have to be a villain in order to, stand up for yourself.
And James, let's talk a little bit about your villain superpower that you have and a little bit about your character.
Yeah, well, I play Craniac, who's forced into hiding thanks to this one. She ends up upsetting our boss, who wants us annihilated, so we have to hide out in Texas. He's, a super brain, head of the family, but also a bit of like a golden retriever with great hair. He's, really not a lot of common sense, breaks things, but which I love. But also, Chris and Brian, the show's creators and writers, have written really above par jokes. I mean, funny jokes in a sitcom format, multicam, which feels familiar, with special effects like I've never seen on television. So it's really watchable. When the jokes are laugh out loud, and not just for the kids, for the parents as well. So I think it's got a little something for everyone. I think that's what everybody's going to learn today. Is it's really watchable.
I think people are going to be shocked by how much everyone in the family can watch it. I think that people are kind of right now perceiving it as more, for kids, which is natural because it's Disney Channel. But I think that once they see it, adults will realize, oh, this is actually kind of for us too.
Yeah. Also, the show's going to be streaming on Disney Plus starting June 22nd. But this is also like making that Friday night for the family that everybody can sit by the television and go ahead and watch it. And that's, one of the things that I loved growing up that, families today can also enjoy. Isabella, let's talk a little bit about, your powers that you have on the show. Let's talk a little bit about that and your friendship, Amy's friendship with Hartley.
So my character, Havoc, Amy, she has the power to manipulate sound. So she can make people hear things. She can create sonic blasts, rips, and, sound waves. Her powers are really cool, and I really like to do, all the special effects that come with them. But I think that one of my favorite things to play throughout the series has been her friendship with Hartley, because Hartley is played by Kaden Miller-Jensen, who has become, my real life best friend. And our scenes together are just so fun. Like, the dynamic that we have is amazing, and I love acting with her. And I think that my character Amy's friendship with Hartley is what really tethers her to Texas and makes her into like a real person. That's kind of her heart in the show, I think, is, her family, but also the fact that she can learn to love and trust somebody who's not biologically related to her, I think is like a big deal for her.
That's a special thing about friendships that many people can learn from the show. And then final thing I wanted to ask both of you, obviously as a kid, I played superheroes and you bought the costumes and you pretended the poses and what you would say. What was it like in the dressing room and, during rehearsals, getting to put on different costumes and act out different scenes? And was it like a lifelong dream to happen?
Well, I've been wearing costumes since, I was 3 years old. I had a Superman costume, but the Superman costume did not fit as well as this one.
No, your costume is amazing. His costume, I think, is, in my opinion, one of the best.
They're equally amazing. I mean, Disney, through the power of the same guys who do Star Wars and The Mandalorian, all that stuff, and they fit perfectly. So when you have it on, it's like a second skin, because they've used computer technology to design and fit, and it's pretty incredible. And I have two teenage boys at home, and they're in awe.
Yeah, it's amazing. I said to my mom, I remember when I got to try on my suit for the first time, I wish I felt this confident all the time in my life, because that suit makes me feel unstoppable. And they're amazing. Like, the fabric, everything that they're made out of is just so cool. And the costume department, is just amazing. The costume department, the hair, makeup, everything. Like they're so committed to creating a whole character and really shaping us with our costumes and hair and makeup. And that's why it feels like you're transforming kind of into a different person. But yeah, I never could have imagined I would get to wear something like this.
It does change your perspective though a little bit. Whenever I see a superhero movie now, I'm like watching it thinking, yeah, there's no way you can fight in those pants. There's no way.
The shorts too tight, the pants are too tight, something's going on, yeah.
Super flexible.
Isabella, James, thank you so much for your time today. The Villains of Valley View, 2 episodes back to back on the Disney Channel, premiering tonight, and then coming to Disney Plus on June 22nd.